I have a red color Camaro eluding me. I am in continuing northbound on Hammer speeds 72.
619 coming northbound on Hammer.
He's got a shotgun. Talk to do it! 619 shots fired. Suspect is down on the ground.
Copy, shots fired. Callers advising that the neighbor's house is on fire. They're also getting a structure fire at Main and Oak. Main and Oak. 2 new structures burning. Break.
Welcome to the Scanner Group Crowdsourced Crime and Safety Podcast with Ryan Mallory and Jared Banry, coming to you from ThiefHunter Lab Studio near the Oregon-California border.
All right, welcome to the Scanner Group Crime and Public Safety Podcast. I'm Ryan Mallory.
And I'm Jared Banry.
We're glad you're here. So we're going to get started, and we're going to get started with some recent crimes and some things that haven't been posted to Scanner Group yet. Yesterday, there was a hit and run in Medford. Somebody pile-drived a car on 4th Street between Central and Front into another car and ran with the car. The car was found on 3rd Street, not very far away, and the member that heard the crash turned on the scanner to listen, and of course the cops show up and it was reported and whatnot. And on 3rd Street they found Brooklyn Hoy's car, and Brooklyn Hoy, when we got to researching on this, she's got lots of stuff like this: some drunk driving, some car theft,
and multiple drunk driving charges, and some theft type stuff and miscellaneous things. Let's go ahead and look a little bit further. You can see pictures of her from, Facebook for sure. But when we look up her record, and there's at least 5, and you can see the charges here. They're pretty rough, and it looks like a young lady that's definitely headed down the wrong path, and it might be good for her to get some help at this point. Yeah, she's definitely on the wrong path at a high rate of speed. UUMVs, she's got multiple DUIs, reckless driving. Now she's got a hit and run, and law enforcement is definitely interested in speaking with her. Yeah,
for sure. And we hope she gets what she needs, but she heard a lady in that car. She got taken away in an ambulance, and it looked like she might be okay and whatnot, but right downtown and likely drunk driving, and that's probably why she ran. When the cops went to pick her up where she was supposed to be living, they couldn't find her. So I don't think they have her today. Maybe they picked her up, but I haven't seen her come across the inmates list. The interesting point was that night she posts, she shares this comment that's from somebody that she knows or maybe doesn't know, clear from October 7th, and it's fingers crossed I wake up a little less retarded tomorrow. Well, yeah, she got wasted her car and wasted another car and ditched, and she's probably going to be in a lot of trouble. Pretty concerning.
I just want to remind the scanner members, though, that we're sharing a comment. This was not our words. This is her words. And I know that there's a lot of PC going on these days, and retarded is not a word that should be used in this situation. But basically, she's reiterating that she's making some poor choices in her life, and she hopes that she wakes up in the morning and is a little less stupid.
She's making some poor choices, but she can absolutely recognize she's making them by that statement. That's kind of how I feel about it. You worked on one that was some theft of some hunting gear, a hunting blind, and I know those things are a few $100 usually for a nice one. Yeah. And this specifically, I know, was a family that used it with their kids and that kind of stuff, and came up missing. What happened there?
Well, basically, I myself was up at hunting camp, and we were sitting around the fire at lunch, and where we're camping at, I got some reception, so I start flipping through the scanner group thread, seeing what I'm missing, and I see this post, and I start looking at the comments, and we got a lot of naughty members out there that decided the scanner group rules didn't apply to them. Mm-hmm.
So instead of doing selective deleting, I went ahead and deleted the entire post, and we reposted on the ThiefHunter Labs. And making a long story short, you got a father and some kids that like to hunt, and they
Good for them.
They have a hunting blind in an area that they traditionally go to as kind of a family history type thing. And they were planning on coming back to hunt, and this guy decided just to help himself to their property.
Wow, yeah, and you can see there him loading it up. So you posted it and started getting some tips, and
yes.
The tips all came back as one name, and 3 different tips that I know about that were people that don't know each other. So
yeah.
they all figured the same guy. So that always becomes time to look up the record. And you can see here on the screen that Brian Morse has a pretty good record and a little history with this kind of stuff. And his record included lots of theft, a robbery, and a handful of other crimes, a stolen vehicle, things that would make me think the guy does that. I looked a little further, and he comes from a hunting family, and I don't want to implicate family or anything like that, but that kind of explains why he might be into that kind of crime and how that stuff might be useful to him or useful to sell.
Well, and having been charged with some felonies, he shouldn't be out in the woods, period.
Not with a gun, I hope.
No.
The felony might prevent that, especially with a robbery on his record.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we had an interesting story, and we don't do a lot of these, but we have a couple of longtime Scanner Group members, ladies, that they worked in White City at various businesses, and they remember a specific homeless man named Coy Purnell. And Coy has been around White City a long time. Living in his car, and the guy has always maintained his car. He's maintained his registration, he's maintained his driver's license, paid his insurance and those kind of things, and he gets a Social Security check, and Coy has always got by, and people seem to love him. So I told the ladies I'd help him find him because they were worried about where his car was seen and had not seen him for quite some time, more than 30 days. Yeah. So I thought maybe somebody's seen him or knows something. He talked a lot about going to Arizona where it's a little bit warmer. Maybe he left his car and marched off. Who knows? But no, we did find him, and that was the good thing. And both of those ladies have gotten to visit him. Coy is at Providence Medical Center, and he's getting some help and maybe getting up there in his age. He just had his 72nd 72nd birthday, and one of the ladies was able to bring him some cake. They got to visit him and different points and things like that. And he was really happy about that. Those are people that he spent a lot of time talking to on their lunch breaks and hanging out and things like that. People that have bought him lunch in the past. So that was a good thing. But we were surprised by the number of comments and views and things like that on that article. And it kind of reminded me of Downtown Dan. You remember Downtown Dan?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody likes Dan. Dan's a good guy, and Dan stays out of trouble, like Coy stayed out of trouble. Coy does not have a record, by the way. Can't find anything on Coy. Coy took care of business relative to that, but he's getting up there in his age, and probably, living a hard life like that has taken its toll on his mind maybe a little bit. We'll see how that works out. None of this is medical information. I'm not bound by any HIPAA rules, and nobody gave me this information. Some friends went to visit him, and we know where he is now, and we got a tip on that, and that's a good thing because he was happy to see him, and the nurses were happy somebody visited him. But where that car was, I want to discuss where that car was.
The car was located at a previous crime scene that we spoke on the last podcast. And Ryan, went through your work and talking with a few of the members, you located the car. You want to tell the circumstances behind that vehicle?
It's crazy. That vehicle is parked at the 8,000 block-ish Gladstone house that resulted in a stabbing and murder last week. And Coy has never been to that house. Coy's not into drugs or anything like that, not at all. He's afraid of those kind of things and stays away from them. But Coy did mention that before he was on foot and before he was in the hospital, his car was stolen. Yeah. And so it's there, and maybe it won't be pinned to anybody, but we're we're going to work on getting that car back for him.
That's right. We're also letting the people who frequent the 8005 Gladstone that we know that you have his car, and we would encourage you to maybe help us get it back.
I'd encourage the citizens of White City to watch that house. You have a Flophouse, and there are people coming and going out of that place all the time. Now we got a nice man who was a transient, but probably one of the nicer transients you're going to find around here, who they stole from, and somebody got stabbed there. That house, I don't know who lives there, and I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings, but there's a lot of problems in that house. We've heard other reports there, and sick of it now. So we're going to figure out, and we're talking to the police. We're talking to Coy's guardian, and he has some help from the state, and that's a good thing. And we're talking to a few other people that are friends of his, and we're going to see if we can't find a place to store his car, get it back for him. And, if he doesn't make it out of the dementia problems and things like that, or whatever he might be experiencing, then maybe we can help him sell the car, and Coy could have a little money for his property and those kind of things. But it's not their property. Pisses me off, and we haven't gone to get the car yet because we have to have the keys, and Coy has those keys, and we have to have permission from the guardian for the police, and have to check the registration, make sure will all work out fine. But we're not worried about them ditching the car now, right? Because we're publishing the damn thing. And the second part is there's a police tape over the back of it from the stabbing, so nobody's going to step on that property and move that car. They've committed a crime on a crime scene there.
Yeah, I think people have kind of gotten used to, I can come into the area, I can intimidate my neighbors, and I can do what I want. Well, those days are gone.
Nah. The citizens aren't going to put up with it anymore.
Those days are gone. White City residents want their city back.
So, folks, if you want to cure some injustice here, Coy's a nice guy. Write Coy Purnell. It's Purnell. CoyPurnell. Send him a postcard. Send him a card or something like that at the hospital. Providence Medical Center in Medford. You can look up the address there. That would be a great thing. I think there's a lot of people out there that might want to send Coy a little something to let him know people love him. And sometimes that stays off dementia. I know my grandmother's 96, and she's doing pretty well because she has family visitors and people that she knows cares and things like that. It helps.
That's right. It makes it a lot easier to deal with issues when you know that people do care.
And if not Coy, and you see some other nice gentleman, I'm not telling you to put yourself in harm's way, but nice people, if you can give them a smile or a hi or a hand up, you don't know how you might have helped them that day. So somebody else was helping themselves or trying to help themselves to somebody's door with an axe when you were on your way over here.
What I like to call the shining incident.
Exactly, Addison.
Well,
here's Johnny.
I had come down from my hunting camp so I could be here tonight for this podcast, and I'm flipping through my phone, and we're getting some what's going on type posts from members. So I flipped on the scanner, and I kind of heard some information about a gun, and law enforcement had got on and stated that the situation on Lozier was code 4. And so I went ahead, I went ahead and threw a post up just advising those people that were asking what was going on that all we know right now is there was a gun involved. If anyone knows what happens, please comment. And we had a couple members that commented, and if you want to go ahead and read that now.
Yeah, one was trying to break into a residence with an axe. Someone pulled into the driveway and had the intruder held at gunpoint.
For those who don't know, what's a code 4?
Code 4 is basically saying it's all clear. A unit will let dispatch know that everything's fine. We don't need any additional units.
Threat's over.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. So this is a citizen reporting. Somebody read on another page that they were trying to break into a house with an axe. So I've seen that name before. That's probably pretty scanner-worthy material that they were listening to. And, we chuckle about this stuff, but what I'm chuckling about is it's just so damn unbelievable that this stuff happens all the time. Like, you can't make it up. I'm not a fiction writer, but real life here.
Well, I would like to, throw kudos out to the homeowner. Because the homeowner shows up and sees someone entering his house with an axe. Would that homeowner have been justified?
That guy is lucky to be alive.
That's right.
Lucky to be alive.
Homeowner gave verbal instructions, held him at gunpoint until law enforcement got there. The guy was taken into custody without incident, and it could have gotten real bad real quick. And
here's one of our scanner group admins, Linda Epler. You guys probably see her on there. She helps out a lot. She posts sometimes. She posts the mugshots for me. I appreciate that, Linda. I heard I turned on the scanner about an axe, and a reporting party had someone at gunpoint and saw 4 sheriffs fly by down 62 headed towards Medford. So it definitely was the homeowner there that
homeowner was exercising his First Amendment rights, and we have a bad guy in jail without incident, and that's I think that's the important thing, because the courts would have favored on his side if lethal force would have been used.
Yeah, like when the word axe coming through the door comes up.
Yep.
I feel threatened.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there's no doubt. But so again, kudos to our homeowner.
Well done.
On showing restraint.
Well done, and everybody's alive today. That's a good thing.
Yep.
Yeah. So we kind of want to talk a little bit about politics. Like there hasn't been enough of that this year. Oh, could give you guys a migraine. Doesn't matter what side you're on. Everybody's probably got to be sick of politics by now. We don't do politics in Scanner Group. We do some local stuff. You know, if it's like for a big elected office here in the county, county commissioner, a sheriff, a district attorney, a judge, those are pretty relative things to what we do.
Yeah, those positions connected to crime.
If it's the county seat, like Medford's the county seat, and everybody has to come here for one reason or another, and it's the biggest police force, and it's the biggest chunk of population. Yeah, we probably care about mayors and town council and stuff like that, but try not to spend a lot of time on politics aside from those things that are relative. And we run the group, and we have different opinions and things like that. Sometimes I'm pretty loud with mine. People tend to get over it, but not as much in the group. We may interview some people, like we did Randy Sparacino. Do I hope he becomes mayor? Absolutely, I do. But
vote Sparacino for mayor.
There you go. So like experience in time, and if you haven't seen that one, definitely back up to that podcast. But this election is going to come to a close, and it doesn't matter what way it goes. There's going to be a bunch of pissed off people, it seems.
Yeah, and especially with as large of populace as we serve on the Scanner Group, we have conservatives, we have liberals, we have independents, we have libertarians. We got a lot of people that feel very strongly, and this is a very ugly year.
It's pretty rough.
2020 has been rough. We have political movements, we have protests, we have the COVID and people.
Yeah, we got the Rona.
Yeah,
the Rona.
People, wanting to riot in Salem because of masks, and it's just gotten really, really ugly. And
then we needed a cherry on top of that nice banana split worth of mess. We thought we'd throw in some fires. Let's just burn some stuff down, people's homes, and things like that. So people are saying, let's forget 2020. Let's mark it off the calendar. Hey, this is some kid's graduation year out there, and I feel bad for him.
I'm hoping we get to see a trailer 2021 before we actually move into it.
Yeah. Do we want to watch that movie?
Because I don't know if I want to. No.
Yeah, right. But if you guys could control yourselves after the elections, and we'll control ourselves, and no matter what way that goes, this Scanner Group, whether that be Jackson, Josephine, or Siskiyou County Scanner Group, those are all local community, and what you can really care about is within 100 miles of where you live. And of course you care about national politics and those kind of things, or maybe you don't. But whatever that is, national politics does not generally change much here, and I think most of those people are probably within the middle 90%, and maybe we have 5% at each side that are extremely pissed off.
Yeah.
Whatever that is, we should probably just all work together to get through that without creating a huge noise and battles between people. And hey, get out there and vote. If you haven't got it in there yet, you can't mail it. Get down there, drop it in at the county office on Main Street. That's a good, safe place to vote.
And we have to make sure that after the results come out that you don't start sending stuff to our page. rubbing the other side's nose in it, celebrating or being angry. We have work to do.
Nobody likes a bad winner.
And no one likes a sore loser.
Whether you win or lose, let's have a little grace, folks. Don't sacrifice your own reputation and over whatever goes on with national politics between parties, because it's pretty rough.
Well, we have a goal on the page, and I got to have my liberal friends, and I'm conservative. I'm a proud conservative, but I got to have my liberal friends out there to help us keep this community safe. And if I start alienating their beliefs, are they going to want to come on our page and participate? No. Yeah. Nobody wants to go onto a page to get local news regarding crime, what's going on in the community, and to see a bunch of people rubbing,
I want everybody that wants to have the crime and safety information to get it without feeling like they have to choke down somebody else's sword, honestly.
Exactly.
Good rule of thumb is Scanner Group is made for everyone except criminals.
That's right.
It's made for them too, because we like to call them out when they're on the page and tag them.
Right. Amen.
Come on in, and it's made for criminals that don't want to be criminals anymore.
It's
we'll try to help you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. It's just not criminal friendly.
But you're right.
Right, just not criminal friendly. You're right.
We'll be friendly to everyone else, but we're not going to be friendly to the criminals.
You say something and you say it a certain way. I don't like a thief. I've heard you say that several times. And I don't like a stabber, and I don't like a car thief, and I don't like any of that crap. Nope. It sucks. People work hard for their stuff. People love their loved ones and don't want to see them die, stabbed. So we'll all work on that together, I hope. Election or otherwise, we're still going to be here doing these same things, calling out criminals, trying to help victims figure out who done it, trying to get good information to the police, trying to do some filtering so that it's less work for the police if we can help them figure out who it is ahead of time. They still have to vet all the details and things like that, but we can provide a lot of good information that will save them a lot of time, phone calls, and feet to the street.
Well, we just had a recent ID where somebody on a fake account was threatening a lawsuit because it's not me. Well, I'm sorry. We've gone through the process. We've set it into law enforcement. If you want to free yourself, if you want to say it's not me, then go talk to law enforcement, and law enforcement makes a decision.
Make me look like an idiot for posting the wrong thing. Please do it. It's happened before. It's not like nobody makes mistakes, but law enforcement and judges make mistakes too, I find out. But the fact of the matter is, if you disagree, you can go down and clear yourself, and I can't clear you for you. So you go clear yourself, and I'll eat crow. Make me eat crow. Happy with that. But otherwise, you're busted, because for some of these people, 3 or 4 people identified them and know them personally. Be careful.
Well,
be careful who you cross out there, because they're going to come back on you.
Oh yeah, and we have a lot of ID requests that are still open that we have gotten a lot of leads on, and we work with law enforcement. We work with each other. We really dive into these identifications, and if we're not 100%, we don't identify it. We don't do it. If we're throwing your picture and your name up on the screen, and we're talking about you on a podcast, or we're talking about you on the page, we're pretty sure it's you.
Yep.
And we're pretty confident that it's you.
And you can message us and call us names and all kinds of stuff. I kind of keep them for fun.
It's funny.
It's great stuff. It's like the mean tweet stuff that we talk about before. But yeah, feel free to cuss me out if you committed a crime. I enjoy it quite a bit. Folks, keep an eye on your hoods. When it starts to get dark out there, it's a good time to go check to make sure you locked your cars, didn't leave a purse in the front seat, didn't leave a camera or laptop in the front seat, and they'll steal your chargers and your pens. So hide your stuff.
Yeah. We're getting into the holidays.
Yeah, it's when people start to get desperate.
On the rise.
Start to get desperate, and that commercial theft. Actually, before we go, we should talk a little bit about commercial theft. That's on the rise, huh?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We have everywhere is getting hit right now. We've got people that are blatantly helping themselves to product, and we have a lot of thieves out there that are repeat offenders, that are horrible thieves, that are getting caught and identified every time they go into the store. And I hope your bag of dope's worth it, because this stuff's going to catch up to you. Everybody can type on the page. They're just going to release you. It's catch and release. Nothing's going to happen. Well, ask Megan Hanna. that nothing will happen. She's sitting in prison right now.
It'll happen, and the more we stack them up, the quicker they're going to get there. But I would prefer they don't do that. I would prefer they not steal anything. But you know what? If you want to get clean, there's a lot of options out there.
That's right.
And reach out to somebody. I don't care if you reach out to me. I'll point you the right direction. I'll introduce you to the right people. And I know a lot of people that have gotten clean.
And we have, our addicts that are out there that are committing these crimes. We were just a second ago, we were talking about IDs. When we ID people, we do have a populace on this page that loves those thieves. We have moms, we have dads, we have brothers and sisters and cousins and friends that are not criminals, that don't go out and commit crimes, that don't victimize. And they see their loved one and they're embarrassed. They're sad, they're sick to their stomachs. And then we get our keyboard warriors that talk about what they want to do to these people. And we do not allow the threats, the hangings, the chop their hands off. If you're not going to help with the ID, please move on.
And you're bullshitting because you're not really going to do it. Let's face it. Come on. You're not going to do it. You need to vent, and I understand that, but you look like an ass doing it. So, I mean, we just delete that stuff. Maybe we mute you for 30 days. Maybe you pout and stomp off, and you're one less of over 65,000 people. I don't even know how I think about that. And I don't know how I'll sleep if one person leaves because they're pissed off that we don't want them to cuss and commit death threats. And you know what? If you're an asshole that could do those things, give yourself some plausible deniability. Nobody that really does that says that out loud. Nobody types it. We know that you're bluffing. Don't really care. You don't need to prove yourself. You don't need to spout off. Let's just not do that. I mean, I have those thoughts too. You throw a pedophile in front of me like we were kind of covering last week, and some really damaging thoughts go through my mind because it's just not right. And I don't like people that mess with kids at all.
No.
But you know what? I'm not going to do anything either, and neither are you. We're going to try to change the laws so that things get better, and maybe we might try again to build a damn jail because that would help people get better.
Well, and the other thing is we're looking at a criminal that committed some horrid crime, and then you get on there and type the horrid crime you want to commit to them. Are you any better?
Yeah.
Are you any better?
Yeah.
That's the thing that's frustrating. You sit there and you think, no, I haven't committed a crime. Police are not after me. But if I catch you, I'm going to skin you alive. I'm going to cut your balls off. I'm going to hang you from a tree. Seriously?
Yeah. All people do is stoop to their level or worse, and it's just stupid. Just stupid.
It's fairly immature. The only part I understand is people's frustrations. And, it hurts sometimes to see that some of these things are happening to people. And, and they wish they could do something about it. And I wish I could do something about it. Well, stick with us, folks. Help us identify people. Call out criminals. You catch somebody skulking around on your cameras at your house, get us that video. Let's let the neighbors know that they're moving through. We can do something about it. We can work together.
Exactly, and that's why we brought up the politics side of things, because we don't need to be fighting on the scanner page. We're supposed to bring a community together. People at scary times are looking for a voice of reason. They're looking for a place to come to get an answer. They want some clarity on what's going on, and they're not getting it from the news because we all know that regardless if it's Fox News or CNN, everyone has their own agenda.
They have their own spin.
Our agenda here at Scanner Group and at ThiefHunters is you, our community.
Making it safer for my unborn great-grandchildren. That's how I've thought about it. We either work on it now or it's going to be East LA for them.
Exactly.
I'm not interested in living in East LA, and I don't think they will be.
And we can stop it. That's the thing. We have the power in our hands to come together and to stop it. We can educate one another. We can talk about what you can do to your vehicle to keep yourself from becoming a victim. What's going to happen if you walk outside a store and there's somebody in the parking lot that's scaring you? What do you do? We had several of what do you do's, here recently on the page, and those are a lot of fun, and I've gotten a few nasty grams basically saying, well, why would you want the criminals to know what our plans are? They're not plans. We're letting the criminals know that if you come into this person's home, you're probably going to get shot. Mm-hmm. Okay? That's a plus. So... And I even had one person tell me, if you don't think what you're doing is wrong, maybe you need to question your own motives. I'm coming for you. Right. Okay, whatever.
Well, it's been an interesting week for sure, and I appreciate you coming down for hunting camp from this, man.
This is too much fun, man.
Yeah,
this is
I
too
enjoy
much
it
fun.
too. It's good to get together and chat about some of these things, and with this specific podcast, you guys got information that has not about some of these crimes been posted to Scanner Group, and information about one of our human stories or humanity stories about Coy, with details about where he is and how you can make him happy and what happened with the car at the stabbing house. Good gosh. Anyway, I think with that, we're going to sign off and wish you all a great week, and we'll be back next week to cover more about what goes on in Southern Oregon crime and public safety. Take care. Peace.
Thanks for tuning in to the Scanner Group Crowdsourced Crime and Safety Podcast with Ryan Mallory and Jared Banry from ThiefHunter Labs. Make sure to subscribe today for notifications about the next show. Visit us at www.thiefhunterlabs.com or on Facebook as Thief Hunter Labs in the search bar.